Hey class, let's tackle this Igbo idea of a person. I want you to think here about Agbasiere's choice of a first sentence for this chapter, which is, the Igbo notion of the person accentuates a sense of personal responsibility to oneself and for one's actions. Now, she purposefully sets us up, therefore, in terms of thinking of personhood with an emphasis, therefore, on moral relationships, right? So as we go into this very interesting stuff on the body, we will see that she keeps moving us from simply body into the questions of responsibility to oneself and for one's actions. So let's have a look at this. First of all, high tech here, going to try and use this simpleness because I am. First of all, we've got the isi, the head, and the ukwa la'aka, the limbs, as a connected pair. We're starting here with the material body, as having a unique connection in that the head is understood to send the message. It is the source of physical force that then moves the uku la'aka, the limbs. And the head, in order to do that, right, moves through the neck muscles and through the lungs. And so we're going to pick up a little afo through here, out there to the limbs. So it's still an integrated sense of that body, but the isi and the uku la'aka having a specific connection together. That the isi, the head, is the source of human intelligence and oratory. And we saw in the Arrow of God just how important oratory was to that whole sense of community, right? Could you not say that Izulu's oratory power and that every exchange he had with kid or wife was all built on the power of his words to either strike a chord with wisdom or exert a kind of hierarchical authority and a moral authority in every time he used a word. So if the phrase from the phrase the head is sharp for him or her, we have the sense of the intellect, right? The head is the source of the intellect. Then with uku la'aka, that the hands are sharp for him or her, right, would mean then that the extremities, you're extremely talented, you seem to be the natural athlete, maybe the obika of the family. And that an aged person might say with gratitude that so-and-so is their voice, or that so-and-so are their hands and feet, saying that, right, what gratitude it takes then for somebody else to help you by being voice or feet. So if we go into the afo, the chest area, the chest to the lower side of the hip, that the lungs, and what a great name for lungs, interlaced strings encompassing breath. The interlaced strings encompassing breath. What a remarkable name. Then nestled in between those lungs is the heart, which is the moderator of personality and the source of your positive emotions. That the liver is the seat of personality. And if you remember that a concentration of blood is understood to be a source of spiritual power, then it makes sense that these people who are regularly butchering animals and regularly attending to death would understand that the liver is a concentration of blood, and therefore attributing it then to being the place where that seat of personality would arise. And then with the gallbladder, This is so interesting that, like European traditions, the medieval traditions of the humoral components of the body included the idea that the gallbladder was the source of bad emotions. That's why we say somebody has a lot of gall, right? We're attributing the relationship of bile and bad feelings and bad words in our tradition as well to the gallbladder. So she then makes note of the umbilical cord. If you're thinking of this body, then the umbilical cord becomes that liminal zone, that boundary zone between one body and another body. And in thinking about religion as orientation, we know that as soon as something is about crossing boundaries or a threshold across boundaries, it is supercharged with meaning because it throws the person back on the question of their identity. So an umbilical cord is a natural piece of a body that is going to carry extra power because it crosses a boundary there. Then also we get a sense from her, all right, that's me and I have to take a break here. Stop.